Hey guys, what's up? So we all have our guilty pleasures when it comes to gaming. Games that we're just too embarrassed to admit that we like, that we're ashamed to even admit that they exist. But they're just so good. They're just so goddamn good that, embarrassed or not, we love them. We love them. So today I'm going to come out of the closet and show you 10 guilty pleasures, 10 games that some of them are RPGs, some of them are not RPGs, so all kinds of games that I am ashamed to admit that I like and I enjoy. So with all possible embarrassment, guys, let's begin. Number 10. Mi Mana Illa Chronicle. Let's start with the least embarrassing. This is a game I've stood up for many times before in my channel, and even though many people consider it as one of the worst JRPGs for the PSP, I'll probably never hear the end of it. But oh well, I like the game. I beat it, I enjoyed it, I love the characters and the humor. I know the gameplay is repetitive and it can be quite bothersome at times, including the battle system which tries to resemble a 2D old school Tales of, but I still believe it's good enough. Maybe it's one of those it's so bad it's good cases? Nah, I don't think so. This game has a lot of charm and a nice written comedy, easy enough to be at least a decent adventure if you're looking for something different, simplistic and funny. So yup, guilty pleasure number 10. I've always been a huge fan of Worms since I was 19 years old. Before that, I had no idea this curious franchise existed. But once I got to my friend's house one day and he introduced me to Worms Armageddon for the PC, I couldn't stop playing it. However, the one that I've been playing every once in a while, almost every day for certain periods of time, is Worms Open Warfare for the PSP. Just quick battles for 4 teams including mine, trying to kill each other in the funniest ways. I know these games are considered extremely silly and no one takes them seriously, but I just love them. They're strategy-packed games that defy your skills and your wits at the same time, offering a decent variety of weapons and many ways to kill your enemies or get yourself killed. On a side note, I played the second Open Warfare game for the PSP and also the one for the Nintendo DS, but I didn't quite like them, so I'm only fond of this particular title since it's the one I put hundreds of hours into. I know the angry video game nerd made these games very unpopular, but I've always loved them. I've played my share of these crazy castle titles, and I've enjoyed every single one of them. But if there's one that stole part of my childhood when I was around 9 years old, it's Crazy Castle 2 for the Game Boy. I can steal myself playing the heck out of it without getting tired, going back at it every once in a while once I had finished it hundreds of times. What I don't remember is what happened to my copy of it, and pretty much every other game I had for that huge brick of a portable console. But one thing that I'll never ever forget are hours of playing this amazing puzzle game in which you have to figure out how to reach every single door and get every single key to avoid getting killed and move on. Seriously? This game is just so much fun. The deeper we go, the more embarrassing the games become. I mean, just look at this. Imagine me playing this game. Come on, it has cheesy and quirky written all over its face. Everything's cute, colorful and silly. Everything! But I love it. About 5 months ago or so, I discovered it on the PS Store, and back then there was a demo available. My god, what a good game it was. I recommended it on my most unknown JRPGs for the PS3 video, and sometime later I graciously beat it within a week. It's a short game, sure, around 15 hours total, but man was it excellent. Forget the silliness of the story and the dumb characters. The gameplay mechanics this action RPG has are sublime. The controls feel so good, and it's just plain awesome to beat the crap out of your enemies in this hack and slash beat 'em up. Yeah. To make matters even better, there's 3 different battle modes. One that's just plain beat 'em up missions, another one to fight bosses, and this one right here that are skirmishes among armies. There's no time to explain every single one of these original and cool missions, so I invite you to wait for my next Hidden Gems video for the PS3, cause this game, guilty pleasure or not, has already secured its own spot there. Laugh at me all you want, but I am a Plants vs. Zombies addict. Especially the Nintendo DS version, which is the one I played and beat and abused for endless hours during my dead times when I had a video game shop. This game, along with Worms, were my first daily choices every time I picked up the consoles and every time I wasn't into some awesome RPG. If I had nothing better to play, Plants vs. Zombies was always on my mind, dragging me into its strategic gameplay, tower defense mastering of all time. Yes, I love it. I admit it's a guilty pleasure, considering how many millions of people have played it like hypnotized morons for years. I've tried the other versions, of course, also Plants vs. Zombies 2, which never worked properly on my phone for some reason. But this Nintendo DS version is something that I'm proud and at the same time embarrassed to say it's one of my favorite non-RPG video games of all time. Right next is the Arlen Trilogy. Well, I've talked about these games before and you probably already know I'm an Atelier fan. Sorry, Atelier is the right pronunciation. Anyway, the Arlen Trilogy is the most embarrassing to talk about since it's more focused on gathering and synthesizing stuff for the people living in town. The 3 games are among the cheesiest and ridiculously silliest RPGs I've ever played in my entire life. And I freaking love them. Yeah, guilty pleasure at its best. I admit that I find these games to be so much fun to play, even with their foolish plots and childish characters. They have a lot of cool stuff though, that takes some things to a serious level, but they're mostly very, very dumb games. And charming ones. Yeah, all 3 of them have a lot of charisma, turn-based battle systems that are just great. Excellent graphics, addictive mechanics, and extremely easy to get into. So yeah, check them out and ignore the yeah. Things are starting to get really serious here. Well, you know how I'm always criticizing fan service and complaining about sexualized characters? I am ashamed to admit then that I like this game. I've played the others before, previous Dead or Alive titles, and I don't know, I never actually liked them. Sure, it was rather interesting to see the girls, but gameplay-wise, I thought they were terrible, very technical, slow, and boring for my taste. But when the PS Store gave this game for free, the full version, even though most of the characters are locked and you have to purchase them, I tried it just so I could go and challenge one of my friends. And wow, I love the heck out of it. The controls just feel so damn good. I really enjoy the combos and the overall layout of the battles. I swear these girls could be dressed like nuns or whatever, and I would still love to fight with them. But alas, Mr. Anti-Fan Service guy has probably lost all credibility with this game. Don't be too harsh on me, please. I mean it. Don't be too harsh. Conception 2 is about a harem with a guy making babies with the heroines to have their children fight with them in battle. I really don't like talking about this game. It's the most embarrassing RPG I've ever enjoyed in my life. Not because of the cliched plots and stereotyped characters, no way. But because of the dungeon crawling mechanics and its excellent battle system. Yes sir, I praised it before and here I am to praise it even more, because if it wasn't for how awesome the battle system is, I probably wouldn't be talking about this guilty pleasure at all. As you're about to see, it's a turn-based RPG with heavy strategy elements actually, and yes, you do battle with your children and also your selected heroine making all these awesome attacks. Yeah, good game. Check it out. I know you're laughing. Yeah, you are. This picture describes how I feel talking about this game, crying out of embarrassment. Super Princess Peach, believe it or not, is a great platforming game with now the princess saving the hero, but done right. Peach is now going to rescue Mario. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. How can a guy like me, called the holy mother of cheesiness and girliness and whatever kind of adjective you'd like to use, a guilty pleasure? Yeah, well, I love this game. And I sure couldn't believe my eyes when I first played it, since back then, I only put it on the Nintendo DS to test it out and make sure it worked so I could sell it. I sold it alright, yeah, but I'll never forget how idiotized I was playing the game for the entire afternoon, and the same thing happened to me the next day! Just mix Kirby with Mario and you've got Super Princess Peach to the rescue in this excellent, and I mean excellent, platforming adventure. Let's go back again to my early days when I ran my own shop, selling, buying, trading. It was fun, but it got pretty boring and lonesome at times, and just like many other titles I've talked about in this top, Farm Frenzy was one of the first PC games I tried over 6 years ago when I was just starting with the store. I had zero portable consoles back then and no TV to connect the others, so all I had was a small laptop and a couple of random games installed in it. So I had nothing better to play than Plants vs. Zombies and Farm Frenzy. I gave it a chance then. A farming simulator in which you grow the fields, feed the geese, to then sell their eggs at the market. This being the entire gameplay mechanic of the game, but as you go on, challenges appear, like bears that you can trap and also, yeah, sell them in the market. Then you get other kinds of animals to raise and feed, so eventually you're addicted to this awesome game! And that's all I'm gonna say before I die out of embarrassment. I am very sorry, but since you probably lost all respect for me, I don't feel like showing my face anymore. So don't forget to share your own 10 guilty pleasures. And fortunately for you, you don't have to wear a bag in your head to avoid embarrassment. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and share this video with your friends. See you next time.